what I typically say to people is, for a baby room, think less about having areas and just think more about zoned areas. So for the baby room practitioners and also for the SND children practitioners, but also for, I'd say, neurotypical practitioners or practitioners in a mainstream setting, collections can be quite powerful because it's about bringing together things in, say, a basket or a box. I've got these. They're actually called wine gift boxes from Amazon, but they're a really lovely length. And what I've got paintbrushes in this one. I have a collection of these that I take for training, and I think they're quite useful to have, like a little collections of spoons as treasure, as paintbrushes as treasure. And that's one way you can support those connections between the resources if you want to. It's not how I would design provision for my children that I've had in the past, because actually a lot of the children I've had perhaps have got fewer experiences. But if you've got children who already have quite a rich diet of spoons and other similar tools, that's a great idea to start off with. But then if we think about just generally how we're building provision areas. So for our baby room, or the youngest children, and I'm like you, I'm very mindful about the language here. I don't necessarily want to say, if you don't have a baby, you can't do this. It's about the children who would benefit most from this. You don't have to have specific provision areas. I was in a client setting recently, and in the baby room, they had a maths area, and it wasn't counters and games and things, but it was things that patterns and a few sat numbers, that sort of stuff. And I thought, I get what you're doing. You're taking your concept of maths and going, these are all for maths here. But for babies, they don't have those collections, those boxes in their brain. They haven't started to organise learning that way, have they?
Well, and we should be concentrating on the prime areas anyway, shouldn't we, first for babies?
100%, but we wouldn't have a physical development area, would we? Because
and we wouldn't plan for maths either. In a baby room, we perhaps would be playing with boxes, fitting boxes inside each other. We might start counting them, and we might start talking about the colours of them. Yeah. But we wouldn't set that activity out for maths.
No,
we would set it out for physical development.
So what I typically say to people is, for a baby room, think less about having areas and just think more about zoned areas.